Yes, good evening, my people. I remember Felix Elijah Nana, your legal practitioner. Today, most of us we've seen the video of Nnamdi Kanu circulating online, where we see the people's leader shouting at the top of his voice at the court and at the learned senior advocate on the other side. One of his reasons is that he has a court order that the court cannot proceed with the trial, and that it's only on appeal that the court order can be set aside. Whereas we are not privy to the details of the court order, but we know there are instances a court order can be set aside. But that's just by the way. Now, just to be on record, I might not really be in support of the federal government's approach towards the long, trial of Nnamdi Kanu, and different charges has been brought up against him. Neither will I also be entirely in support of the approach that Nnamdi Kanu is using towards emancipation and the secession of the southeastern part of the country from Nigeria. I do also understand that the dynamics of the country has changed. Nigeria of the late 1960s is no longer the same as it is. But there are some salient questions we need to ask ourselves, to be very sincere and honest with ourselves. Is Nnamdi Kanu really, with due respect to him, sincerely interested in the emancipation of the southeastern part of Nigeria and its people, or our people, or is just interested in the messianic syndrome, making himself the messiah of the people? I'm asking this question. An average student of international law will discover that secession, or will know that secession is a fundamental right. And we also know that under international law, that there are procedure or criteria that are usually considered for secession. And we know too well that Nnamdi Kanu is a smart fellow, and that there are smart lawyers from the southeastern part of Nigeria that know the right procedure to follow in international law towards their emancipation and their right to secession. The federal government is not, though a sovereign country, does not exist alone. The federal government of Nigeria is an affiliate and belongs to so many international organizations, including the United Nations. The federal government of Nigeria has bilateral and multilateral relationship with other countries, and there are rights and privileges that accrue the federal government of Nigeria by virtue of our affiliation with other countries or nations. Now, what happens to Nnamdi Kanu and smart lawyers and the smart people of the southeastern part of Nigeria lobbying the 5 permanent members of the UN to see if they can galvanize or get the support of these 5 permanent members of the United States, knowing how powerful their votes are in the United States? Take, for instance, I just want to give a tip. We know Donald Trump is having small with the president of Nigeria. Why not utilize that avenue? Try to see how you can leverage on the relationship with the US, with Russia, with China, with Germany, and the other, I think Japan, to see whether you could get the support of these 5 permanent members. And if you get their support, The last time that there was UN General Assembly or Congress, I was honestly expecting the good people of Biafra or the good people of the southeastern part of Nigeria to approach the United Nations Congress to present their proposal towards their right to self-actualization and secession. But that did not happen. Get the support of these 5 permanent members of the UN. Look forward to the next General Congress of the UN. Present your proposal. When you present your proposal, show to these people you have a definite territory. Show to the UN that you have a currency or a proposed currency. Then a plebiscite will be conducted within the territory or the states of the southeastern part of Nigeria, where the people will speak for themselves whether they want to remain in Nigeria or they want to succeed and have a country of their own called Biafra. But I pray the people of the southeastern part of Nigeria will cooperate. I pray the Ohaneze Ndigbo will not be having another voice from the governors and other people from the southern. If that can be done, then this can be achieved without bloodshed. This can be achieved without one person being held out as a scapegoat. This can be achieved without one person acting as a messiah. So if Nnamdi Kanu is really interested in getting this done, there are better ways, honestly, sincerely, that this can be done. And there are smart lawyers from this part of Nigeria, and I know they can do the right thing if they want to do the right thing. And this can be done without bloodshed. And then, by the time the right procedure is followed, you discover that it's this, permanent members of the United States, of the United Nations, that will be mounting pressure on Nigeria. The privileges of Nigerians, their rights in relation to the UN, and their relationship with other countries will be withdrawn. And before you know, you discover that Nigeria cannot exist in isolation. And they'll be pressurized to bow to the biddings of the UN permanent members by letting these people go. So please, let's act with wisdom. Let's do the right thing without using one person as a scapegoat and without one person also acting as the messiah of the people. Thank you very much. I remain Felix Elijah, your legal practitioner. And always remember to consult your legal practitioner and do not rely on whatever I say or do to take an action or inaction or indecision. If you do, you'll be solely responsible for your action, your inaction, or your indecision. Thank you very much. I remain Felix Elijah Nana, your legal practitioner.